Thank you. Hello and welcome to session 75 of Dreamers of Kiriak. Lots of stuff has happened in the recent past, and I'm desperately pulling up the Discord so I can read the recap that I gave to people. Last session, there was some funky stuff that happened. You all traveled through space, sort of, and opened a wormhole to another universe and shoved the entire dreaming through it using a fishing line through the power of a fish. And Pimrin facilitated this and went through and is now living in the other universe where the president of magic and the horse Goras also are believed to live. It's good times.
He finally found the chosen one.
Yes.
That was his goal, after all.
This is true.
Now, after that, there was a mild disagreement between the goddess Risa and Na'in as to how binding the contract was. She was like, yeah, you have to do what I say. And he's like, but I could just kill you. We've already established that, like, you can't just evaporate me with a thought. And she's like, yeah, I would legitimately like to see you try. He says, okay, and he, like, cuts her in half. And she goes, oh, okay. And then she kind of leaves. And she's not really been seen much in public for the last few years, because a few years have now passed. She has essentially vanished, not really wanting to have anything more to do with you, since apparently at least one of you can just shrug off the contract. She has created a one-way wormhole to that other universe where the dreaming now is. The city where the maiden used to have her tower has been just kind of converted into the new capital city of the nation that is slowly reforming around the continent. And anybody who wishes can just come to the capital and jump into the other universe. As far as anybody's aware, there is no way to come back. Nobody claims to have done so, at least.
I'm so disappointed in my orphans that they have not got this.
You have, at long last, after several years, discovered where the prisoner's tower is. The prisoner, of course, when you had first come to the mansion, the butler had informed you he was the dream of a dude who was in a dank tower, and you're like, oh, cool. And it turns out that was the wanderer saint that you've been not necessarily looking for, but
if I recall.
You've known he was hanging around, and it turns out he is now the prisoner rather than the wanderer. He was locked up by what seems to be a couple of the other saints working together a long time ago, and you have since learned that the Dreaming Rain, which occurred some decades ago, which is likely what turned all of the original characters into the Dreamers, was caused by the prisoner in his tower. In the intervening years, the dreaming has sort of maybe started to come back. People have started to dream again, but their dreams have all just been strange dreams of wandering in isolation for weeks or more without a single other soul. It's a very terrifying thing to experience, and a couple people, after having this dream, have gone to the capital and to the other universe because they don't want to ever risk experiencing that again. It's pretty rare to have this dream. Most people in the last few years have never experienced this. Because the dreaming is now growing again, some information that was uncovered by Solir's orphans, they kidnapped several people who claimed to know what was going on, and one of them actually seemed to know what was going on, led you to find the location of the tower far, far to the north, out in the middle of the sea, on a big ol' glacier sort of island. I don't know if it's more glacier or more iceberg. It's pretty big, though. It's ice. That's the important thing. In the last few years, what have your characters been up to? 9. Hi, Kat.
I want a stronger sword because the gods survived it.
That's fair. You have found a stronger sword, one that specifically creates death explosions inside people if they survive once per day. It's tested pretty well. Nothing that you've hit with it so far has survived that. Granted, probably nothing would have survived you just hitting them with a regular chunk of metal. Like, most people are not just lining up for the chance to tank a hit from you. But there have been opportunities.
What plus is that?
I am desperately putting that together right now.
I already had a +2 sword that made people into zombies.
It's gonna be an upgrade to your other sword. So it's that sword, but also once per day if you hit somebody with it, and if they survive is kind of a weird restriction to put on that, but yeah, if they survive, they take an additional 3d6 necrotic damage.
The power of hatred.
The power of hatred, indeed.
It's the name of the sword also.
Have you done anything else aside from get this buff to your sword?
I think he named it Ashit Slayer.
I find a way to get a slow spell into my ring of spell storing.
Within the last few years, yeah, you would have been able to do that.
I just need to find someone who can cast slow and have them put it in the ring.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can cast magic around the world still surviving.
Like Ashit.
Ashit,
Yes.
what have you been up to over the last few years?
I've established a thriving doomsday cult.
You have, yes.
Just remember, I got a cut of that.
Don't you have like unlimited money?
Hush.
Okay.
Has this cult been attached to Risa at all, or have you just taken the cult idea and run with it on your own?
It's under her name, but if she's not going to be present, then
Yeah, very fair. There is undeniably a god running around again, and she's probably had... I'm sure that she's been gathering other minions.
But she does conveniently speak through only me, so I know
Yeah,
exactly what
they're-
she wants.
You, as far as I'm aware, haven't broken your contract,
I mean, that was our
And-
deal, was that I would
yeah.
get a cult out of it. And
and so she's probably...
she's at least allowing it.
Yes. She probably would have appeared to you a few times when Nine was not around.
Like, she just shows up 20 that night. Just like, hey, bro, what the fuck was that? Did you see? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know, right? That guy
She'll
sucks.
give you the authority to give powers to your minions. As you see fit.
So I can have just a few really powerful orphans.
Yes. Whether the orphans, physical forms are able to withstand the powers that you give them is another issue, but you're able to bestow that, at least to make temporary powerful minions. Just be careful of what you ask and or command them to do.
Okay.
What sort of things is your cult doing? What's the scope of it?
Mostly I just want a cult of people following me. Like,
Uh-huh.
I don't have an end goal.
Okay.
We're just, secluded up in our compound in the mountains.
So, you haven't really, established...
I'm just hoping the ATF doesn't raid us.
The ATF... I don't think the ATF is going to raid you. Risa would definitely prevent them from burning down your compound if they were so inclined, but since you are the official cult, she's probably annoyed that you are just kind of secluding yourself and is probably creating an alternative, more public-facing cult that probably has much less of the magical power.
If she'd
but
like to be a little more present, she can.
yeah,
As long as she shows up every now and then to, lend me some credibility.
yes, she'll certainly do that. So, Lear, what have you been doing over the last few years?
Oh, I'm sure he would have found his way back to the casino.
Yes.
Turned it back into a casino.
It is doing better now than it ever has before.
He probably thinks he's taken over all the other businesses in town.
Yeah, there's... Your orphans made it difficult to do other businesses without giving you a cut at the very least.
And, keeping an eye on Ashit, making sure the cut from the cult comes in.
Yes.
With your unlimited rubies.
With my unlimited rubies.
Have you been taking advantage of the fact that you have pretty amazing access to all of the trade that goes through that port to do any projects or get any information, or have you just been growing your business empire?
Yeah, I don't think he cares about it. He never knew what was going on anyway, so...
The orphans know, I'm sure.
The
I'm
orphans,
sure the orphans know everything, but...
oh yeah, the orphans are the ones who eventually got the information as to where the prisoner's tower is. They've been very busy. They've been establishing an information brokering network. They seem to have taken to it very well.
I mean, let's face facts. He relied on either Goris or Pimrin to know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. Now, the cooks who are now working for the casino, can you describe them? Or what kind of people have you gotten to fulfill the role of cooks?
People that can cook.
That's a pretty good prerequisite.
Yeah, he wasn't, I don't think the Kill the Ostriches crew was going to stay for very long without Pimrin's direct influence over them.
Understandable.
There's too many ostriches out in the world for them to kill.
Did they eventually leave to go find the
I mean, that
ostriches?
could be its own cult.
The orphans probably took care of them. I can't imagine they would have left on their own. Excellent.
I mean, if they want to go back to just cooking, they can stay there.
Now, can you describe your new character, Jordan?
I can. So I think my character would, with the spreading of the cult of Rissa across the realm, hear about this cult and finally come and join up. Because Augustus the 17th
Excellent.
is part of a long line of other Augustuses who have all been primarily servants of Rissa for as long as their family line has gone back. And so hearing that the cult of Rissa has returned, he fully believes that Ashit is actually the speaker of Rissa.
Fantastic.
And is willing to do anything the goddess says. That's the reason he even came out of hiding originally, is him and his whole family were hiding because the goddess was gone. And he is an unnaturally tall and gangly, long limbs guy, completely bald, no facial hair.
Very aerodynamic.
Pretty, exactly. Skin pretty pale, like he just has been without sunlight for his entire life. And he just always has a massive long bow on his back that he can use his long limbs
Excellent.
to draw back.
Like a combo Jolly Green Giant Mr. Clean.
Yes, yes. And he's he always speaks in a whisper. He never actually talks.
That's what happens when your wings are squished
well in the
vertically.
microphone.
Exactly. It's great because I'm right
I
next to
warned
the
him
microphone.
about that one.
Well, can he
Fantastic.
be in charge of the military wing then of the cult?
Absolutely. What powers have you given him to facilitate this?
Powers do I have the power to?
Risa really left that up to you.
Oh, God.
Like you can't really give people power that's greater than what you can kind of hold in two hands. She tried to describe it to you a few different ways, and it just never really took. She was using lots of esoteric language, and you're more of a self-taught person. So.
And limits.
But you can give power to your minions.
So mechanically, at least,
One cleric.
I did make this guy an Asimar, so I figured
Yes.
maybe that could be some power of Rissa
Yep.
channels.
But that
So
would-
maybe that.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there we go.
So his Asamariness can come through that?
Yes.
Cool, you're the general of an army now.
Awesome.
The army consists mainly of orphans.
We must give them knives.
It turns out the people that join a doomsday cult are not army material typically. But we're trying.
All right.
That was the response.
So he's General, what was your name?
Augustus. The
General
17th.
Justice the 17th.
This is where
And you have,
General
No.
shit.
through a strange quirk of events, you have a complete immunity to all damage that Ashit would cause.
Ah, what is the strange quirk of events? Well, it must be, the
Came
holy.
close enough to inhale around the house.
Yes. Well, it must be the holy power of Rissa that Asha is emanating.
very
in
clearly.
course. Yeah, a champion
It
of
would
Rissa.
never
would be-
harm the faithful.
That's not true, unfortunately.
If he believes it to be true, then
Ah, there
that
we go.
works.
Classic cult-like fashion. If anyone is harmed by Asha's spores, they were
That
not
means they were
faithful
guilty.
enough. Yes, exactly.
Drink from the cauldron.
It's a good test of your faithfulness.
Yes, perfect.
That does only extend to damage. Any other effects that might be harmful may still occur.
This is fair.
Drink of the cauldron.
So,
Drink the water.
Augustus the 17th has joined the party on their eventual expedition up north. You are determined to get to the bottom of what's going on with the prisoner. Whether you're going to kill him or just open the door and say, go on, get, you're going to do something about it. The butler sword, who thankfully is somehow able to exist in the waking world, is happy that you're finally getting to the bottom of this. This is, after a fashion, what he was born for. Now, you need a boat to get up there. Who is in charge of chartering this boat? Is it going to be a cult
The
boat?
orphans don't have a boat.
They got many boats. Would you like to be the one to do it?
I imagine you have a fleet.
God only knows. Sawyer wouldn't care.
See, I would just
Do
summon
you-
the
do you-
giant's head.
Well, we can do that too if you have souls.
Have you acquired another sloth?
Have I?
You can if you wish to.
I would love to.
You have
Oh,
acquired another
yeah.
sloth. You have been
Happy
using it to drink souls. You have been mastering the use of the sloth and can now force it to disgorge souls as you need, like a little Pez dispenser.
So, his name is Uncle Pez.
Tilts its head back and slowly So good.
Unfortunately, it was at the cost of his larynx, so when he
I mean,
speaks, it's like one of those weird
Sloths
robot
have
voices that
like
people with
no
throat
internal
cancer get.
organs. They just kind of have a long digestive tract, and that's it. So you just push them out of the way, and there's lots of room for souls. No larynx required.
Okay.
So yes, we'd rather travel by giant.
Does he have like unlimited capacity for our... How much orphan army are we taking with us?
How much orphan army would you like to take
Well, that's
with
up
you?
to the general. He's in charge of the military branch.
I think if we're tracking down what is essentially, as far as we can tell, one of the last threats to the power of the gods in the realm, we're taking the whole army. Right?
You mean the last threat to our power?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
the power of Rissa is our power. So
The
yes.
giant head probably has room for a couple dozen people inside him, and it's probably a pretty tight squeeze.
Well, he could do a lot of stuff. I didn't know if maybe he could just sprout
It's
an extra
worth
wing.
asking. He could potentially call some friends if you'd like to invest some additional
I
souls.
didn't know he had friends.
Oh, I don't, he says.
Oh, that's
You
good.
shouldn't trust any of them, but they might do in a pinch.
I'm glad he's here because I forgot how to summon him.
He has a whistle, I think.
It's not
So
a bell.
no, this is a whistle.
Can't read that.
It says whistle for giant, 3 souls per trip.
It is,
Oh,
it is
that's
most
pretty
likely
convenient.
the others will simply devour anybody entrusted to them.
Well, that's not good.
However, it's a
You know what?
possibility.
Summon one of them and he can ride that one.
Okay.
Perhaps our armies can take their own boats and follow behind.
Yes, that would be more reliable, I would think.
I have a flying horse.
Fine, you go on your gay little horse.
It's a very
We'll
large
go
horse.
in the giant head. The giant head will be at the head of the fleet of...
So the fleet is the giant head, a flying horse, and then probably like 5 big ships full of orphans.
Oh, that's a lot of orphans.
You've had several years to gather pretty much every orphan on the continent.
We are the place to be if you're an orphan.
And how
Yes.
many of them fucking died immediately?
Quite a lot of them at first. Eventually, it was figured out how to make them not die as fast.
They were simply not faithful enough.
Indeed.
Christ. Yeah, how many potions of supreme healing do you think I could have wrangled together by now?
I don't know. It sounds like you were spending most of your energy trying to figure out how to make a god-killing sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that you would have been able to find any potions of supreme healing. I don't know if there's many magic users who are still like around who can make those.
The two Risha lovers may finally drive me over to, liking 9.
You all can have found one potion of supreme healing.
I don't even know what that is, but
I don't either, but it
You
sounds
don't want
big.
some kind of high position in the cult?
no.
10d4 plus 20 HP.
Where all the cool kids are.
No, you see, my only interest in your cult was you paying me for every shrine you created there. That was the deal.
There's a lot of shrines.
You can also, by the way, put cult headquarters in the casino someplace, because I did promise you that as well.
There's a perfectly good haunted basement down there.
Can we also be in charge of the wedding chapel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was established that there's a really good one there, like beginning of the campaign.
Every
'Cause
casino
that's
has a
where-
wedding chapel.
That's where Ashit got married.
Actually, you could have.
Right.
So it's got personal significance.
Well, you could have the offices upstairs, if you wanted that for the offices.
Just got to replace the windows. Somebody
Yeah.
jumped through them.
I think I ate all the ghosts in the basement.
Okay, so it's not haunted and it's eerily not haunted. Like, this feels like there should be something here and it's weird there's not.
No,
Your hatred still
you can handle
lingers.
the entire hall there. I just want my cut.
It's a spooky haunted house. It's not actually haunted anymore.
I never actually
I
give him any
promise
money
you
and
we
he
can
doesn't
fix
know that.
that.
For some reason, ghosts are just really attracted to it. The weather is terrible as your fleet heads north. There's very icy storms. Nobody really sails up this way because there's nothing to do up here. There isn't another nation up here to go trade with. There are a lot of very nasty creatures in the water that tend to chew through ships. Thankfully, those are not much of an issue for all of you to deal with. There's some light warlike skirmishes that happen, and one of the ships doesn't make it, and the orphans have to crowd into the other ships. But there was a giant 7-headed squid down there that there's not anymore, and you all ate pretty well on that for a while, so that's cool.
There's no way that boat that was lost wasn't already packed wall to wall with orphans.
Yeah,
We
it
can
was
fit a few in
unfortunate.
the
Not
dragon.
all of them survived
If
the battle.
we
Was
could
the
fit
problem.
a few orphans, then you have fit a few orphans. They are already Tetrised in there, and you know it.
It's there's room in the head for a few more to go in.
We shove them up the nostrils.
A lot of them died. A lot of the rest of them
Killing my
just
orphans already.
It was this giant 7-headed squid.
I think Augustus would have trained the orphan armies so that if any of them thought they were going to die, to swim away from the others as fast as possible. So they could
That's
die
very good
alone,
training. Yes, exactly.
Because that's what Rissa wants.
Exactly.
That's their only chance of dying alone, so.
And as it happens, it makes it a lot harder for the giant 7-headed squid to kill a lot of them in one sweep of its mighty beak. So,
How many tentacles does it have?
like a lot, like 49.
It's not like a reverse squid where it has one tentacle.
That would have been better, but no, it's got 49 tentacles.
It's a squid that looks like a human hand.
The human hand thing, it's like a DM that just doesn't have minis, and he's just like, it looks like a hand.
It's like Master Hand.
It's that one castle from Elden Ring. You eventually see the looming wall of ice on the horizon and eventually come to the icy land. You see no distinctive towery features on the horizon, but those of you with the magical eyes in your head can see a weird shimmer rising up to the sky in the far distance. It takes some clambering to get up the side of the ice wall to what is effectively the land. The orphans are not loving this so much. There's a lot of grappling hooks that are being thrown.
Hey, did we ever find 8?
Did you ever find 8? I
No,
don't
10.
10.
10.
And no, the pirate orphans are still off doing their own thing. Unless one of you wanted to dedicate time during the several years to hunting
I
them
would
down.
have tried to find them and recruit them.
Okay, you definitely would have found them. They definitely didn't want to come back.
Not even to be part of an
No.
army. God
No.
damn.
They're sailing the high seas. They survived several tragedies. They don't want to be brought back into another one.
Well, you know what? Good for them. They've earned their freedom.
I think they have. They get one of the happiest endings of any character in this campaign.
They get the only happy ending for orphans.
Yeah.
Especially not the ones you brought with you to Antarctica.
This is Arctica, not Antarctica.
A good number of orphans, once they learned of the orphan rounding up campaign, chose to go into the other universe, so there's that. A lot of them got probably happy endings.
That's probably.
Go
Don't.
ahead.
No.
Just go for it,
I'm not
Steph.
going there.
Don't go there, I'm sorry.
A lot
It
of
wasn't
people
intentional.
Lived happily ever after.
There we go. So much better.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Friendly's named their little dessert that. It was such a bad choice.
Yeah.
Or a good
Do
one.
any of you have ways of facilitating getting all of these hundreds of orphans up that big wall of ice?
I can
Yes.
fly up there on a horse.
Is there a
and
tree up
anchor.
there?
No.
Can I bring like a potted plant with
Yes.
me? Okay. I put a potted plant up there and I
Okay.
can just shove them all through.
You successfully shove the orphans through.
As many as you can in 6 seconds.
It's a lot of orphans. I mean, they're like half the size of a normal person. So you can fit twice as many.
I don't think that's how it
That's
works.
exactly how that works.
Their legs are small. They can't
Look,
run
I
as
make the rules
fast.
here.
We just have we've
Well, do you have a way to shrink them down?
Gosh, we figured out how many you could send through before. Was it
It was
100
like
people?
100 soldiers.
Yes.
we've assuredly trained the orphans for this occasion.
That's
You know,
true.
all-
That's very
all
true.
direction and a run through.
That's definitely something that would have been trained through.
The idea that there's a plan is ridiculous to me.
I think they can go sideways and like dance through really fast. So you can get 2 people
Does
through.
it work with like portal physics? So if I like had the plant down here and then they jumped from a height and went through it, would they come out the other side and shoot a fair distance so there's plenty of room? We can get a lot to jump down into the portal.
They all die.
They will take falling damage
No,
if
they're
they
just
jump
gonna skitter
down and
across
then
the
go.
ice a little bit because they're going to be coming out horizontally onto the.
That kills people.
No, it doesn't.
Ask motorcyclists.
They're not on motorcycles.
You can
God.
you can cast the spell twice and get them all through.
Fantastic.
Congratulations, you now have several hundred orphans on the ice. A lot of them are complaining about the cold.
We didn't dress them for this.
No.
No, I didn't pick up cold weather.
Again, planning is not a thing that happens.
We had a lot
I
of
think-
time to plan for this.
Now you did know it was going to be very cold, so it's up to you whether you would have made any plans for this.
I would have put little jackets on them.
I did specifically give Augustus some points in intelligence to make sure we had somebody capable of making plans. For
Excellent.
something. So as the general, it'll probably make sense they did something.
Are you
with the
suggesting that Slayer can't make good plans?
Well, historically, our party.
Asha can probably conjure a giant pile of fluffy jackets using Reese's power.
Ooh, nice.
I'm just remembering fucking Omelet for Orphans debacle and just
Yeah. Asha, can you please give me a religion roll?
Yes.
Do all of the fluffy jackets smell like
Using charisma, please.
mold?
eggs.
They all smell of sulfur for some reason. Weird.
Using religion?
Religion, charisma, please.
Religion. So
Christ,
just a
roll a
charisma.
die.
I'm trying.
No, you make
You
your
have
religion
a-
roll and then add your charisma modifier.
My charisma is -1.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
then you would subtract your charisma modifier.
Okay, so it's just a straight roll then.
Why did you break out so many physical die to
You
kick around on your
can
phone?
add proficiency to this because you're a cult leader.
So what does it end up being? That's a lot.
Your proficiency -1.
You've been
Plus
rolling on the
die.
phone the whole time, so you don't actually know how the game works.
D20 plus 4.
Plus
Yeah.
4. Okay. Cool.
No, has no
Great. I
clue
should
how
have
the
gone with
game
the first one. 6.
Okay, so you aren't able to draw enough of Risa's attention to conjure a giant pile of fluffy jackets, but you do conjure a giant pile of, like, cotton shirts, so people can at least pull those on over their... You got everybody what you assumed were going to be good enough winter jackets. It's just really, really cold up here. So now everybody's got a nice, shiny, bright white layer on top of the jackets they were
Help with
wearing.
camouflage.
It will help with
You
camouflage.
immediately lose a percentage of warfare.
They go blind immediately.
To answer your question, these are all set to 1 for good luck.
Now, thankfully,
They absorb the negative luck.
you have multiple people who can just see the stream of magic that seems to be rising on the horizon, so you're not going to get lost. You may want
Oh,
to...
look, it's over there.
I think I can see it. Does the tree that you teleport to have to be living?
Well, this was a potted
That's a good
plant,
question.
so, yeah.
Probably.
What's the name of the spell?
Transport via plants.
Transport via plants. I would assume it has to be alive.
By now you don't have a better spell than that. I mean, you're...
We gained 13
Magical
levels in
link
6 months
between-
and no levels in the last 3 years.
A large or larger inanimate plant.
We haven't been absorbing anything recently.
It doesn't say.
It's not as if...
I would imagine that a dead plant doesn't count, just because that tends
Yeah.
to be the way dead things work in this game.
It does seem like if you're using a nature spell, it probably needs to have like life energy flowing through it. So you are aware that the tree, if you just leave it here, is probably going to die by the time you come back.
It's okay, the orphans will be dead too, so it won't matter.
She touched it. I'm surprised it's alive now.
So you may want to set up something else to use as a like marker, unless you just intend to like abandon all of the ships that used to come here and just like transport to a completely different tree to go back.
I guarantee I spent at least a week telling them not to bring orphans, so I've completely given up hope that any of them will live.
Well, there's going to have to be a tree on the ship. Also.
You would have a tree on the ship. I don't know that any of you, even you, Ashit, would know like how to keep a tree alive in the Arctic, even in a ship.
Really? Man.
You've
I'm a
probably
shitty druid.
you've
Yeah.
probably juiced it up enough that as long as you're not gone for like a couple weeks, it'll probably be alive.
Give us some sawdust, it'll be fine.
Oh,
It doesn't matter whether or not she'd know how to do it. She'd get bored and decide to just keep adding things that shouldn't be a part of it till it becomes an enemy.
you eventually meander your way across the snow and the ice. You find no other living creatures on your way there. There was a bit of a storm when you first came ashore, but it eventually clears, and there is a glaringly bright sun in the sky and not a cloud to be seen. And you eventually come to not a tower, but a pit. A perfect cylinder 100 feet deep that's been punched into the ice. And probably a good 50 feet wide. The sun shines down and the edges of the hole, the sun shines down and the edges of the hole shine a crystalline blue in the sunlight. This light quickly fades as the hole sinks, and only your magical eyes can see the shimmer of several magical presences at the very deep, dark bottom. This is where the magic is rising from.
Should we throw
You
an
can't
orphan
fly
down there to see if
anymore,
it's
can you?
safe?
This is a problem.
Oh,
I have very long, very broken.
Just so used to Pimrin flying down to go look at things.
We do have a
flying
flying
up.
horse.
I honestly think I trust him.
well, I could fly
He'll just
down.
attack it. You know.
Now, Solir has no trouble. He can just spider walk down.
You spider walk on ice.
You're spider walking everything.
Okay.
Mighty Nine, might you descend into the pit to scout for us?
Scout? Like,
Look down deep in the pit.
no, I see. Like, there's a direct line of sight between us and the bottom, I think.
You see darkness at the bottom. It doesn't take long for the light to fade.
It's down there.
What is?
Don't know.
That's what you'll find out.
One of the orphans asks another of the orphans if he brought the rope. That orphan says, "I thought you brought the rope." One of the orphans says, "I brought the rope."
I'm just gonna start walking
They
down
hold up
there.
a 30-foot coil of
We're
rope.
just gonna end up killing whatever's at the bottom of this thing anyway, so.
You start walking down. It's chilly down here. Thankfully, your boots adhere perfectly well to the perfect smooth walls of this cylinder. It is very dark. You have dark vision, correct? How far is your dark vision? Is that 60 feet?
I think it's just
Usually.
normal.
Alright, at the bottom, you see in the pitch darkness shadowy shapes moving. You see their magical outlines. You see 4 of them. They're about human sized.
And that's with the strange eye?
Yes.
Okay.
They're looking up eagerly at you, these little squatting down creatures.
Oh boy, sure hope they tell us that they've been waiting for us.
Everybody's waiting for us.
Every single person.
You see a looming shadowy hemisphere in the middle of the bottom of this pit. And the creatures are crouched around it or on top of it.
Okay, so there's a hemisphere, a bunch of creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see into the hemisphere?
You cannot. It is a dome that you cannot see through.
Okay. Alright, well, time to walk back up
You walk back up.
and let them know what I just saw.
And how
Pretty-
deep is the pit?
100 feet.
Pretty sure we can take them, you know, they're not.
I never doubted that.
We have trouble getting into the hemisphere. I don't know what it's made out of. But,
I'm probably just gonna hit it.
well, you have to bring some light with you.
That usually works. I have an ever burning lantern.
Well, there we go. We'll see y'all when you finally make it down to the bottom.
Oh, you're not gonna help get all these orphans down there.
How the hell am I
They're-
going to help? I'm not going to carry
Just
them
carry
one
them
by
on.
one down to the bottom.
They're very small. So you
Why
just-
did you bring orphans?
It's my army. Shut
Well,
up.
if you'd have
What-
brought 2 plants, I could have brought one downstairs with me, and you could have had the one up top. Well, you probably count as a plant.
It has to be inanimate.
Yeah. Just stand really still.
I'm
What-
sure there's a lot of them on you that are inanimate.
What is your plan for them? Are you just going to fill the pit with innocent children?
You
First
could
of all,
have them make a ladder and lower them down.
Well, I'm going back down. I
can
assume
they
you're
do
coming.
like ants? And just like one of them clings to the edge, and then another one crawls down and clings, and then another one crawls down and clings until it's like an orphan rope. And they,
The problem is like the strength of the one at the top, I think, because it's just going to keep getting
Yeah.
heavier.
Send enough orphans over the edge, you'll make a ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually.
Yes. It will eventually work.
I don't suppose we
probably.
thought to bring the plants
I've
with
got
us.
some rope. If anyone else has rope, then we can start work on that. But it's gonna be
Yep.
a long time.
Honest to God, I don't know if I have any room.
I have rope, but I refuse to participate in throwing orphans in a hole.
I
Well, that's
honestly
why the
can't
rope,
remember
you're
what
not
I.
throwing.
Oh, yeah, I do have rope.
Maybe we could leave the
I don't
orphans
think I've
up
ever
here,
used the rope.
Yeah.
just chittering and chattering against the wind.
Maybe
until-
we could have left them in their homes with their alive parents before you butchered them so
What
you
if
could
we
have
didn't know?
orphans.
Apparently, I also have a lantern I've never used.
The speaker of Rissa said we needed the army.
You never know when I'm coming in.
There's not going to be anything for y'all to fight by the time 9 and I are finished down there, so just
God, I hope not.
come as you know, here's a rope. It's
I'm
unused.
sure I have rope.
I've never needed to use the rope. I just walk up to every damn thing that I go to.
So we'll tie the 2 ropes together. We'll probably
Yes.
this length a bit, but
I don't know if you've ever seen like a middle school PE class, but they don't generally have the upper body strength to climb 100 feet on a
These
rope.
are military
are-
orphans
yeah.
at that training.
Down,
military
not up. It's a lot
trained
easier.
soldier.
Well, yeah, that
household.
way their hands will be completely rope burned by the time they make it.
And frozen because they're not properly dressed.
Those
I'm
two
sure-
things counteract each other.
I'm sure I gave them little gloves.
They don't.
We've given all of
didn't
their
even give
orphans
them
ropes
little
just to give
coats.
themselves rope burns to keep their hands warm.
You're,
T-shirts
you tie the ropes together.
with your logo on it.
I assume at least one of you has like pythons that you can hammer
Hang
into
on,
the,
I might have those.
into the ice.
I'm sure I
don't
can
know.
turn into an animal of some sort and get a few down there at a time.
Here's the hammer and the 10 fights.
You could turn into a really
I've
long
been carrying
anaconda.
around for all this
That
time.
does not seem like it'd be good on the ice.
Probably not.
I don't think the orphans are good on the ice. I don't think they're good in the ice hole. I don't think you should have brought them.
Look, I don't
We
need
should
to hear about your ice.
Leave the orphans here at the top of the cliff. If something comes flying up out of the cliff, that's an all trick.
They can catch him.
Yeah.
Let's go then. Time to go kill things.
Fine.
And we could
Be a
tell
good
them
animal
it's
for
fine.
transporting
It's been
orphans
3
into a
years.
hole.
We haven't killed much in 3 years.
I didn't kill much before the 3 years, despite
Yes, I
being
know
a
that.
hired killer.
Yeah, anchor down the rope and
You
climb
didn't
down.
even kill Risa. So.
Right, can you give me athletics, please? Climb down.
I can. Indeed.
I wasn't trying.
I am
You
not
never know it by the amount of damage.
great
you
at
take.
athletics due to my very spindly legs and
Yes.
arms, but 8.
Unfortunately, you slip and go plummeting down.
That was a
Can you
short-lived character.
can you give me a dexterity saving throw to grab the rope
Yes.
on your way down?
Dexterity save.
Horse instinctively nods like, we can
Less
go
time
save
to
him. And I'm like,
answer.
no.
Yeah. 21.
Okay. Thankfully, you grab it very quickly, and you take only a single point of damage, and you're able to
Fine.
get down the rest of the rope fine.
See, this is why I haven't gone down there yet. I'm just sort of watching the
Yeah,
inevitable.
I'm just going to go clear the area down there.
Okay.
Take my rope burned hands and just press them against the ice. Good.
It's the perfect place for it.
Immediately hypothermic.
Yeah. So, if y'all are racing down there, the first person to get down there would be 9.
Oh no, I'm.
He's watching the comedy.
Oh, okay.
apparently. I'm
So
going-
Lear would then be the first one down. And the creatures at the bottom would have started to engage with him as Augustus is getting down. Woohoo! Please make me initiative rolls. Only the two of you who are actually like engaging with it.
I'm gonna pull my.
26.
Okay.
Actually, wrong one. 24.
It's time to fuck shit up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna send out so many arrows.
So Lear, down here there are 4 of these little icy humanoids with their big ol' clawy hands, and they're all screeching and running to intercept you. It is your turn.
There's not going to be enough left for you 9, so I'm sorry.
Level 1/4 methods. The final fight.
29.
That will hit.
Now, let's see how tough these things actually are. So that's 14. And what the hell, we may as well make an example out of this one. 9, 10, 12, 19, 21, so it's 35.
You gore it. It immediately shatters into ice. Can you please make me a dexterity saving throw?
Fuck, they were methods.
They were.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Wow, that sucked. 12.
Alright, you succeed. One of them goes into the eye of the one next to it and it screams in annoyance.
And we'll use the lightning gun on the next one. Because why not? 15.
That will hit.
14, 19.
14 and 19.
No, just 19
Okay.
altogether.
You blast it with lightning. The lightning illuminates the cylinder for a brief moment, and you can see these things are little swirling storm winds with lots of twinkling bits of ice flying around within the winds around this icy core, which is what you skewered in the first place.
And eyes, apparently.
And just eyeballs, frozen eyeballs,
course.
just kind of hanging
There's
there.
always
With the little optic nerves dangling behind and attaching to
with little
nothing.
human hands.
They actually have no human hands. It's just, just kind of
For once.
sickly bits of ice just kind of hanging
This is
there.
how I know that I'm dreaming.
Do you do anything else?
I will move over, closer to the hemisphere there.
Okay. In the flash of light, you're able to see that it seems to be made of metal, and there are 4 levers surrounding it. There's some weird hingy-looking mechanisms on this hemisphere. It is then Augustus's turn.
Alright, am I down the rope yet, or am I still climbing?
You
down?
are at the bottom. You can drop
Okay.
down.
Perfect. How many of the little guys are left?
There are 3 of them left.
Okay, are any of them close to Solir?
Yes. All of them would have been very close to him.
Okay. So the first thing I'll do is, for one of my attacks, I'll substitute it by saying, Solir, strike again! And as a reaction, you can attack again.
Oh, good.
And then
His commanding voice.
then I can add 9 points of damage to whatever you do.
Excellent. Are you attacking the same one that you hit before,
If the
Solir?
little fucker didn't die, then yeah.
Okay.
16.
That will hit.
Alright. Sweet.
Because it's a new turn, you can add your sneak attack to that.
Oh, Lord, yes, that's 5, 10.
Sneak attack is bullshit.
It is if you can manage to do it several times in a round.
I did take this maneuver for that purpose.
7, 29.
It also explodes. And can you also please make me a dexterity saving throw?
23.
You succeed.
Alright, then I have 2 remaining attacks.
Yes.
I'm going to make the first one a sharpshooter attack.
Alright. Boom.
So that is a 20 total to hit.
That'll hit.
Alright, so then that is 24 points of damage.
Alright, it is not quite dead.
Alright, I'll try that one again then. That is a 26 to hit.
That will hit.
Same thing. That time it was a 21 damage.
And that will kill.
So just knock 2 arrows and that's one more dead.
Yes. I'm not even going to ask you to roll. I don't think it's possible for you to fill. So. Alright, are you doing anything else, Augustus?
Yeah.
That'll be it.
That's
Okay.
You're 1.
It was a 25.
A 1 doesn't make you fail a saving throw automatically in this version of 5e, I don't think. I think that's a thing they were going to do in the next not edition. I don't know if they rolled that back.
Something like that.
Something. They've been doing a lot of things that I've not been keeping up with. There are 2 of them left. They are going to swivel away from the guy who is not taking any damage from them, and they're going to try to murder Augustus with their claws.
Alright.
They're actually not going to try to murder with their claws. They're going to try to murder with their belching, stormy winds of ice.
No, this will not.
Right, you need to make 2 dexterity saving throws, please, Augustus.
A 21 to 7.
The first one will succeed.
The second one,
Yes.
I'm going to spend one of my uses of Indomitable to reroll.
Okay.
Where's that? Indomitable. Another 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. You succeed once and fail once.
Yes.
Let me... There's no die in there.
The secret's in the footmark.
Yes.
Yeah, I keep.
Well, I got rope burn on my hands and feet, so it's kind of.
Oh.
You'll take 3 cold
Get you better
damage.
boots.
Yeah.
3 cold damage from the first one.
3 cold damage.
You'll take 8 cold damage from the second.
Alright.
Oh, he's so fucked now.
So there, it's your turn again.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to go kill these stupid things. Just to see.
You can be flanking on this one. And you see you can add a 1. You can add 1
Why
to
is
hit.
your ringtone still saying?
What do you want it to be?
Sans
It's
never
a good
dies.
ringtone.
17.
That will hit.
Oh, Lord, what are we doing here?
His name is Sans Undertale, thank you very much.
9.
escape.
21, 25.
My question is, who is
38.
at my house calling me? Nobody's there.
The baby.
Oh,
They call
Somebody
me, tell me
calling
they're on
your house.
fire.
yeah. Chris must be there. I don't know.
Yeah. It's 38.
You kill it. Can Augustus please make me a dexterity saving?
Yes, I can. A 9.
You take
16.
I'm gonna get down there and he's just an icicle.
The footwork. The footwork.
I hold my burn hands out towards the ice.
you take 7 cold
Not the
damage.
hands. The feet. You gotta move.
I see. Very wise.
They move.
He's literally a battle master. He spent his entire lifetime studying combat
12.
maneuvers.
That will not hit.
And this fucking drunk is like, no, move your leg.
I'm very proficient in using my bow, but I'm not proficient in dexterity saves. So this was
Right. Are you gonna do anything else, Solaire?
I'm gonna stay around and just in case he somehow doesn't kill this thing.
Okay, Augustus, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna make sure it wasn't.
You're getting blasted
yeah.
by ice.
once more, Solaire.
Here, watch how this is done. 19.
That will hit.
A terrible waste of my resources. It's funny. So.
It is very funny. I love it.
Let's see, so 7.
We're both just telling each other how to fight instead of actually fighting the thing.
25. 35.
It explodes.
The
Please
feet
give me
move.
dexterity
The feet.
saving.
Both of us, or
I don't think Solaire can fail, but
21.
he can. Yeah, you succeed.
25.
You succeed.
The feet.
I see now. Yes.
Don't worry, 9. We got it.
Augustus
I'm
takes 1
Probably still busy.
point of cold
arguing about
damage.
Shit.
and
That was only like 18.
Solaire
seconds.
doesn't take any damage at all in a successful dex save. Is that correct?
Yes.
Evasion.
All right, they're all dead
Just
now.
don't take damage. So.
So this was a beautiful, perfect cylinder around you, but it's now scored with all these shards of ice that have slammed into the walls.
We should jam more of these shards of ice into the walls to make a staircase around the inside.
If you want to go do that, go ahead. There's levers.
Oh, that's probably more pressing. Yes.
There are 4
No,
levers.
there's levers. You don't press this button.
Press the whole.
They are far
Just
enough away from
keep
each
moving
other.
Them. Yeah.
They're far enough away from each other that 4 people of medium humanoid size will need to engage them at once.
Oh boy, let's send 4
Unless you happen to have like
What?
Or
Oh, you got 'em?
You can
double length
I'm standing on the other.
No.
Send
Put the
down
phone call
the
down.
orphans.
Yes.
We just
And
need
look in the
2.
potato cabinet.
No.
And, well, you know, if they knew where the
It
potato
was a
orphan
potato
was.
emergency.
Yeah, it was a potato orphan emergency.
understandable. Several orphans immediately obey and start shimmying down. They're gonna have to make rolls.
Why do we not just get 9 in his horse? It'd be much faster.
Wait, why are the orphans descending?
Because you need 4 people out with the 4 levers.
Okay.
All of the orphans thankfully survived the trip down.
9's still up there.
Oh, they're all down there?
No, just
Oh, yeah.
four of them because they misheard 100 feet up with the winds blowing.
Well, that's okay, because then we could be ready to fight the thing, whatever the hell's inside this thing when the hinge opens.
All right, ready,
Nine's
says the
gonna stay
orphans.
up, top there and let us do the work.
One of you to each of these levers.
He does this a lot, by the way.
They go to the levers.
He'll,
we have
he'll
training?
show up when it doesn't matter anymore.
You have not trained the orphans to operate levers.
No, can we have trained the orphans to all speak with that voice? Because I love it.
No, that's
You may.
just what you do.
I don't think there was an option there.
Okay, good.
The orphans try to heave tremendously on these levers, which are very frozen and heavy and old. So we'll see how well they manage.
3 of them die.
Well, 2 of them slip on the very slippery ice underfoot, and the first attempt is a failure.
You and me replace those two. You're the
Okay.
two that did it right, they can say.
High or low?
Well, just let them hold.
Hi.
They're just holding them up there, and then we'll just go open the other one.
Yeah.
You hear a clank from somewhere close, but not a snap, and that's a good thing.
Orphans make a snap.
All right, ready to try again? Athletics rolls, please.
Jesus, we gotta do
To
that.
not slip and trip.
16.
Can I possibly slip with these boots on? Or slippers, I guess.
You cannot. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
You're able to get these levers cranked down to the ground, which causes the hemisphere to sort of unfurl itself.
We may have to run fast when we let go of these levers.
There's a hiss of escaping air, or air being drawn. Air moving happens when this opens. And you see down below, there's a 10-foot diameter hole that leads down to some very nasty looking 5-foot wide stairs. A lot of blood seems to have spilled and frozen thickly and knobbly on these stairs, and it'll take a bit of precarious, careful walking to make your way down. It's interesting that there doesn't seem to be any of this thick, knobbly blood on the, like, ice around you. Maybe the creatures that you were able to take care of have been keeping this looking nice and tidy on the outside.
So you be careful on the stairs. I'm just gonna walk down the wall.
Yeah, that makes sense. We found some stairs! Just scream up into the pit.
Should we bring the orphans?
No.
Oh. I wasn't asking you.
Yes!
Jesus.
Yes.
You tell Nine to get his ass down here.
Get your ass down there.
The orphans turn to Ushit. So, are we going?
The general says,
All of us?
well, I mean, you're not going to last long out here. It's kind of chilly.
Yep.
I think you should all go back to the boat and sail in different directions.
Fortunately, they're trained to ignore him.
General
completely.
Augustus
Yes.
can't hear 9 right now, so he can already.
They're specifically instructed to ignore him completely.
Are you going down first, my lady?
Yes, I turn into a bird and just swoop down there.
And then the orphans start crawling their way down the rope.
Well, I picked another couple of ropes so we can.
How many ropes do you have available?
I don't know. I've had 3 years to acquire ropes.
But you didn't necessarily.
We had.
You don't plan.
There's probably ropes on the boats.
There's ropes on the boats.
Yeah, too bad
Notoriously
You could
have
send
ropes.
you could send the orphans back to the boats.
Via
How far
plans.
is
It was probably a good 40-minute walk. Also, none of the orphans can see the magic rising from the pit. There aren't really landmarks.
So they have nothing to be scared of.
They'll have to do some good survival work to make their way back to the boat and then make
the
their way back
orphans stay
here.
in a long single file line.
As a giant
The orphan
bird, how many
railgun.
orphans at a time can I carry down there?
As a what?
A giant bird.
4?
Okay, well, I'll make a few trips and the rest can go down the rope and
How many trips?
however many it takes.
There's 500 orphans.
There's 500 orphans? Yes.
You brought 4 ships full of orphans.
Well, I wasn't prepared for a hole, okay?
This is why I stayed up here.
No, okay, there's 496 orphans.
Well, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah,
4 of them are
Right.
Four of them are already
how many
down there,
orphans
so-
fit in a cauldron?
12.
Oh, really?
If you optimize the cauldron for orphan stacking.
Oh, shit, I could just lower them down in the cauldron.
It's
Can't
terribly
horse help?
uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable. They're not going to last long.
Horse is not going to help you individually lower children needlessly into a hole you found in a
This
random
is
ice
why
wall.
I bring alcohol everywhere I go.
So the orphans are they're crawling down.
You want to get yourself.
We'll bring
It
50
makes
with
this a
us and
whole
send the
lot
rest back to the
Okay.
boats. They can follow the foot.
Well, the orphans are really bad at climbing down this rope
Yeah, they're
after their hands have been out in the cold this long.
Splat.
Quite a lot of them just fall.
We hear a lot.
Quite a lot of
splatting.
them. There is, thankfully, a lot of them fall onto other orphans. instead of onto the ground.
I think
How many
Splat,
healing
not
spells do I need to use?
Now, hold on.
Splat.
Okay, thankfully most of them fall pretty close to the bottom. So they're only going to take 4d6 of damage instead of 10d6.
They're all gonna fall to the bottom.
I would try to help the ones that fall.
Oh, sorry, cat.
I'm gonna
But
swoop
you're
in
just
on
a
a
mean
Pegasus.
son of a bitch, and you're just gonna watch them splat.
No. I try to do rescue work.
10 of the orphans survive of the 50 who go
You're
down.
trying to be
10?
nice.
Yes.
God damn.
Wow.
We
Well,
paid orphans.
it's not so much
I've never had
survive
any
as they're
problem with the
they're
orphans.
still in
3
walking
years have
condition.
changed you, Nine.
I've
So
always
we could
advocated.
theoretically-
A good
orphans
20
survive.
orphans survive. 10 of them are in continuing condition.
I thought
So
that
effectively,
was-
30 orphans
Meanwhile,
died.
we've like wiped out everything underground while these fools are falling from the sky.
These should be enough to watch the entrance.
We're down there already.
No, I stayed up.
He is yet to start rolling on slippy stairs.
The stairs are quite slippy. So Lear is able to skip the slip. But
Slayer solos the dungeon.
he's kind of having to do like a Jean-Claude Van Damme leg split to go down on the walls. Because it would be difficult otherwise because of how narrow it is. He can't just go sideways. But he makes it down without issue. Are you then going down, Augustus?
There's a bottom.
Yeah. Once we have at least some orphans to guard the entrance, I would be
Okay.
walking out.
I need you to give me in athletics or survival, your choice.
Don't fall on me, please.
Survival was 0 instead of a -1, so
That's pretty good.
15.
Thankfully, you're able to do it without too much hazard. You slip and slide a bit, but because the walls are only 5 feet apart, you're able to brace yourself pretty well. And you don't fall down.
Very long limbs.
Yes.
Well, there we go. Don't worry, Nine. We got this.
Many of the orphans have sort of started setting up camp at the bottom, I suppose, trying to figure out how hurt the various ones of them are.
Well, I've also brought as many down as I can in a reasonable amount of time on my back. And
Like how...
I can make 3
What's
of
your
these
speed?
zombies.
No. I can't stop you. You can make 3 orphan zombies. So, ow.
Can't you take over the dead, Nine?
What's your flying speed,
not
Asha?
I don't have
What did you turn
access to
into?
it. Stuff big, like a giant eagle or something.
90.
Okay, so you're able to bring 4 orphans per 6 seconds. If they're very efficient at jumping on enough. You're a lot of them are not. Some of them are. It's a lot of orphan crowding down there. I think once you hit like 50 orphans, there's just no more room.
You'll get.
Well, that's how many I wanted to bring.
Well, they're the ones who
Been
came
with me for
down.
years
So
now.
like,
It's chaos every time.
Yeah, you just let me know how many living
Okay, there's-
orphans that we've managed
there are
to,
20 living orphans down below.
Usually she just hides
At
in
the
the
end of all
badger
this.
hole.
that are in functional condition.
It's
There are
easier
10.
that way.
Yeah, but I've also carried some down.
There's no more room down
Oh,
here.
damn it.
You filled the pit with dead children again.
Yes, but 3 of them are mushroom zombies now.
They're not dead though. They're
They all live?
no. The
30
mushrooms.
of them didn't.
Okay, so you've got 10
10
living
good
orphans. You got
10 bad
3
orphans,
mushroom.
and 3 mushroom zombies.
You got 10 good orphans,
Uh-huh.
3 mushroom zombie orphans, and 10 living orphans and like 30 dead orphans.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I
okay.
said, yeah.
Just the 10 who are, I just said, are living or not in continuing condition. So
So while she's down there making zombies, I'm going to try and convince the rest of the orphans in existence with the literal facts of what just
Yeah.
happened to get on the boats and just fucking go.
Well, I've
can you
already
give me a persuasion at disadvantage, please? Because these are indoctrinated orphans.
I've already told them to go back to the boats and just hang out.
Yeah, but I told them to leave and,
And
never
I've
be
told them
anywhere
to
near
not
me.
listen to 9 ever, under any circumstances. Should be double disadvantage. They're very loyal orphans.
6.
One of them runs back. It was not one of the brighter orphans.
They were
He
all supposed
disappears
to go
onto the
back to
horizon.
boats.
Did you order the rest of them to go back?
Yes.
Okay, then they'll go
I've said
back.
that 3 times.
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
Okay.
No, the difference is that 9 was telling them to set sail and
Yes.
go.
One of them goes off in a complete random direction, thinking that he's listening.
You've
to Nine.
doomed him. Good job.
So, at the end of all this, the 2 of them are down below.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
2 of you are not. When you get to the bottom, what are you doing?
Squeezing horse in this tiny.
Horse
hole.
is not gonna squeeze through.
Not with that attitude.
You have grease. Actually, it's cold enough the grease is not gonna be helpful.
It's ice. It's
It's-
very slippy.
You have mentioned that it is slippery.
It is
It is
pretty
very
slippy.
slippy.
The wings are kind of an issue. How wide is a horse? Hold on.
A horse is a large creature, and any creature can condense down one size smaller
What's the
using
horse about?
squeezing.
He's
to cause
just
them to
gonna
move at
scrunch
half
up.
movement.
What's the horse about? The width of the tails? A little more?
He's a big horse.
Wings.
The wings are, I think, are the width issue.
Yeah, the wings are going to be
You're gonna have to cut his wings off.
Well, you just make them go up.
Can horse please give me an acrobatics roll? At disadvantage.
6 plus a horse's acrobatics. Or a Pegasus's.
Right.
I imagine not more than a couple.
Just imagine this thing falling
Plus
down
2.
on top of us.
Horse gets stuck.
Not on my watch.
How are you going to rectify this?
Oh,
By
God.
jumping up and down on him until he sloops down the hole.
How far down are we?
You both are at the bottom.
Do we just hear like
Can we get
slapping
out of the way of whatever the hell's going on?
It's
above
quite
us?
a while. It's quite a ways upstairs. So
Alright.
yes. So
Right. Onward.
you jump up and down on horse, and he starts to like slowly slug down, but it's very slow going.
It's okay, he has 59 hit points. And
Yeah.
also a bunch of strength and constitution. He can withstand this slow shoving a horse through a tube
I
action.
like them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna take a good 15 minutes.
What?
I'm not against
Yeah.
this.
So
And he has no opinion legally.
Shit. 9 is attempting to spend 15 minutes
So-
shoving a horse through
How many
a
things you
scared
figure we
tube.
can kill in 15
You're
minutes?
just behind him. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, there's nothing I can do. I just gotta wait.
Okay.
Blocking all of his horse's ass.
Poop on his
I'm
head.
gonna poop on his head.
All right. You wait for the horse to get fed through the tube. Those of you at the bottom, you hear the rhythmic thumping of the horse being
Is
pushed
this,
down the
is this
stairs.
tube made of
Onward.
ice?
You see him very slowly progressing. What's
Is
that?
this tube made of ice?
Yes.
Oh, can I just like melt the ice then?
You could try. How would you like to go about that?
With the produce flame, just kind of.
Roast horse.
Well,
All right.
Like,
heat metal on horses?
Well, can I do like a just kind of held back version of it where it's just
Like-
makes a bunch of heat?
No.
no.
Darn. Well, I don't want to set
Produce
horse on
heat.
fire.
Fireball.
If he had horse armor, you could do heat metal, but that might also hurt the horse.
That would hurt the horse, but it would melt the ice around
You
him.
could cast heat metal on 9.
That would,
Nine's wearing dragon scale armor, though, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, we went over this technical leather.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much
Nothing
you can.
leather about scales.
That's fine.
There's skin.
Not
underneath
metal,
it.
but
Unless
certainly
shape
not
water can
leather.
also shape ice. Can I make the ice into water with?
You have shape ice.
I have shape water.
Does it say it works on ice?
You can make ice with it? don't know
I
if
can
it does
freeze the
that.
water. It does not
Shape
say
water.
I can unfreeze.
Well, then,
You instantaneously move or change the flow of water. You can form it into shapes. You can.
I mean, ice
change
is
its
just
flavor.
hard water.
You freeze the water if there's no creatures in it. I'm gonna say you're.
it's fine. We
You can, yes, you can do that.
Cool.
That's not in the spell. You're a crazy, powerful druid cult leader. I think you can do that small amount of changing. You can just barely widen the tunnel that horse slurps down suddenly.
Just make his slurping a little faster.
Then he's at the bottom.
That's
Do
really
we just hear the sound of
undignified.
essentially horse falling down the stairs? and
Yes.
stuff? Okay.
he's fine.
Thumpity, thumpity, thumpity.
The rhythm changed.
Nine, can you please make me acrobatics or survival to make your way down the stairs?
I'm on horse jumping up and down there.
There. Okay, just acrobatics then, please.
To cling to horse.
Are you sure this isn't animal handling?
No, it's not.
Can I ride my horse like a skateboard?
Hey, if Legolas can ride a shield down the stairs, he can ride the horse.
I got a natural 1.
You fall down the stairs.
On the horse.
Oh, the orphans laugh at it. Even the dead ones.
You take 10 bludgeoning damage. Horse is thankfully fine at the end. You all eventually arrive at the bottom of the stairs.
You're not gonna kill any more orphans?
Have we just been waiting at the bottom?
Yeah.
Why are you thanking him? You're the one bringing orphans.
Thankfully, it only takes a few minutes
There would
because
have been
Asha
there would have been
does
no
the
waiting.
thing.
As soon as I get to the bottom, I'm leaving.
So what do we see in the 2 minutes we have down there?
What? Are you playing a human?
Asimar, so I have
Asimar.
60-foot dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no source of light down here at all. So you can see very dimly if you...
I think I have a torch.
Astamar have dark vision.
They do have dark vision.
Torch and a tinder
That still
box.
only lets you see a bit in pitch darkness.
They also have the light cantrip.
I'm playing the new Asimar, which I don't think does.
You light a torch.
Or like a top.
It illuminates this 50-foot wide circular marble floor below you with walls of cobblestone.
I do have the light cantrip, you're right.
Okay,
So I'll just do that
so you can just put it on one of your things.
I will take out a torch and cast the light cantrip on it.
Perfect. There's a 50-foot wide marble floor beneath you. The walls rise up a good 10 feet. There is an altar of marble in the middle of this floor. There is a wall to the north. There is a stairway that goes down. On top of this altar in the middle seems to be the shattered remains of a metal bell. The walls around you and the floor beneath are scored with deep gouges, and there are bits of what seem to be metal shrapnel just scattered around the floor.
You gotta be careful of bells. Bells
Yes.
are dangerous.
That's been passed down my family line for generations. Yes. Ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom.
If she ever asks you to ring a bell, don't do it.
Well, if the speaker of Rissa tells me to ring a
Don't.
bell.
Only one person has rung that bell, and they disappeared and were never seen again.
Oh, praise be, they went to see Rissa for
That's exactly what happened.
Sounds like they went alone and were never seen again.
Exactly.
I have some stories I need to share with you.
Fanatics.
So, do we go down the stairs?
Well, do we want to take a look at the bell first? I mean, not ring it, of course, but
I'm pretty sure it's broken.
that's fair. Down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Do they wait for us at all?
Fuck.
It doesn't sound like it.
Last I knew, y'all weren't coming.
You
Then
were
suddenly
a
there
bad
were
general.
suddenly there were splatting noises, and
I just shout at the stairs, we need orphans to guard this room! And then we
These
keep
orphans
going.
have no way to see anything.
It's fine.
There's got to be some orphans with blind sight among them. Hold on, let's see how many orphans with
Can you
blind
provide
sight.
them with a light at least?
Somehow there are 8 orphans among the 10 that have blind sight.
what race
How
has
about that?
blind
That's
sight?
I don't think races have blind sight.
Yeah.
It's the power of reason.
Animals do.
They've all just trained to get blind sight. This is what it is.
I think
They've eaten their
Might be
carrots.
able to get it. I think maybe I've mated my eye bug to his eye bug and made a lot of little eye bugs. And we've
Potentially.
equipped the orphans with
there's
eye
no
bugs.
way in. Fuck.
They're all very
I am not
humans
coming that close to you.
that took the feat at level 1 that gives them 10 foot of blind sight.
There we go.
There we go.
As an orphan,
that's,
that's not a... That would make
And
sense.
that's what Slayer's got.
Yeah.
Never needed to use it the entire campaign.
Can you at least leave them a torch?
Surely, at least a couple of them have functioning light sources.
Okay.
They
well,
probably have some survival items.
You
They
did-
probably only have sticks to defend themselves, so they just light that on fire.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Probably. So the two of them go down. Nine and Ashit then come down to the floor. You see the altar, you see the door to the north, you see the stairs down, you see the shrapnel. You hear the sounds of stepping vaguely as the other two disappear down into the stairs.
How many orphans total are we?
Jesus
I
Christ.
forget.
You got 10 good orphans with
Right.
Did you fucking write this shit
Three
down?
Plus the
zombies.
3. Plus the 3 zombies.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'll take the 3 zombies with me and leave the 10 up here.
you. Okay. When you say up here, you're saying this is
Yeah,
the
we're
marble floor.
following them
Okay.
down the stairs.
Okay. Nobody took the door. That could have been where the prize was.
We'll get it on the way up.
Yeah.
I tell them if anything comes that they can't handle to follow us down the stairs.
It's
Yeah.
probably
They can
warmer
handle
down here.
whatever.
That would be useful once they're dead.
Down the stairs. If only I had a battle map.
Oh.
And here comes the last penis of the campaign.
It won't be the last.
Night's young, George. Actually, it's not.
There is a passageway.
It's a fudgesicle.
There's stone pillars. They're not quite stone pillars. They're gargoyle-like shapes in the middle of the pillars, holding up the pillars.
So are we
There-
coming from there? Like that's the stairs?
You are.
or-
Stairs were up here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. So, when they come to life, you take the ones on the left, I'll take the ones on the right.
You got it.
Okay. We're ready.
I take my torch of light, which I can't hold
Yes.
with my with my bow, and I just
didn't you just cast on the bow?
because this is what a torch is for. Tuck it into my
You're
bow.
the one with intelligence. What's your wisdom like?
10.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It makes total sense to me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
At the far end
so
of this
there was
passage,
8 wisdom.
at the far end of this passage is a very heavy stone slab that is just kind of like jutting out from the wall.
Probably where we need to go.
That would make sense, yes.
Are we sacrificing someone on that?
So I
No blood on altars. We learned this.
Yes.
keep my bow out and yeah, I head down to that side of the room.
Okay.
And I'm going down the right side. So,
All right. Are you going? Did you say you're going?
I'll stick to the left side, yes.
Okay.
The left side of the room.
The both of you are going to the left and the right side. All right. You get to the end of the room.
that was disappointing.
Nothing jumps out at you.
Try poking them.
You're not here.
Hit them. I'm probably. I'll
You're
be
2
there
minutes.
eventually.
You're 2 minutes behind.
God damn it.
We can wreck a lot of things in 2 minutes. Is there anything on this slab?
There is not anything on the slab. It is perfectly smooth.
Can you move it?
I am very weak.
Oh, good.
These long limbs.
Together we don't make one stronger.
These long limbs provide extra leverage, and yet I am still weak.
When Augustus gestures with his long limbs, the light of his torch passes close to the door, and there is a shimmer of 3 shapes that appear in that torch light, or in that cantrip light. They just seem to be 3 etched circles. Nothing particularly fancy about them, except they only appear when the light is very close to them. They did not even show up to Salir's eye.
There's some circles here.
Are they deep?
They'll show up to you if you look at it with your
Okay.
like regular vision. I mean, with either of your eyes, just it only shows up when the light is.
It's
Looks
not
to it.
magical, is what you're
Yes.
saying,
Alright, here's what we do. I got these rubies.
yeah. Okay.
A lot of rubies. Fill these holes, or as much as we can stack there, with rubies. And we're going to stand back, and you're going to shoot the
I will
rubies.
fire an arrow, yes.
Yes. If that doesn't work, then I'll just shoot it with the gun.
Or two. I could fire 3 arrows at once, hitting the bullseye of each of the circles at the same time.
I'll give you a ruby for your own if you can actually pull this off.
All right, I'll stand back. I'll try the bullseye first.
Okay, where are you standing in the room?
I'll go all the way to the far end.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
back to the hallway there.
Yeah, and then I've got 3 extra attack, triple extra attack. So I'll just stand back.
Okay.
Knock 3 arrows.
So as you start to move,
Shooter, so
as you start to move back through the middle, can you please give me a perception roll?
I can. I don't think my perception is all that great. That's a 9.
Okay. You do not notice until it is too late. As your torch is passing over the ground, you see the outline of a square appearing in the light of your cantrip, and then you put your foot down on it. And darts fire from each of the statues and directly at your head. Can you please make me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage?
You want mine?
It's all right. Disadvantage. I'm gonna indomitable that.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 15. Not the worst. Not the best.
All right.
No, we're
That's
not in
pretty
the
good.
room. We went down the staircase down to this other room where all these columns are.
Yeah.
And that's where I don't know the
You'll
altar
take
room
8
has
poison
a door,
damage.
but we didn't go through
Alright.
that.
Some of you
This one.
are able to pull your
Yeah, that's
back out of the way of most of the hail of these darts, but several of them still hit you.
Did you see the dark spot
Wiggle
closest to
my
us?
fucking arms to get up.
That's where.
You
Those
feel
circles are.
woozy. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yeah, it's a stone slab.
Versus poison.
Circles.
That is a
Cut into
13.
it.
All right. For the next hour, you will have disadvantage on athletics checks.
Oh no, the floor trap is something else besides that.
I somehow feel even weaker than before.
What the hell did you do?
I start pulling darts out of my head. They're like just
Thankfully, they're not barbed. They're very sharp though.
Move the feet.
I forgot in the moment. Yes, you're right.
So Solir, you did see this happen in the few seconds.
Hold on. I'll move my feet after I get the rest of these darts
I
out.
mean, he's slower than death, and he.
He's not in the room.
This is why you're the general of an orphan army.
The two of you pass down the stairs just in time to see Augustus get a face full of poison darts.
Perfect.
Stay back.
Okay.
Just stay out
This
there
is
for a
not
minute.
acupuncture.
It's advanced
Can
action.
you still see?
Yes.
I hold
Okay.
up the torch.
Can you hit the target?
I will do my best.
Okay.
All right, so we'll stand back of the door.
Okay.
This time, looking very carefully
Yes.
at the floor.
You put your torch down and you can see there is one of these squares between each of the statues, so you just walk around it.
Yes, that makes sense.
And you're able to
So-
get all the way back.
I'm going to have the lightning gun out in case he
Yes.
screws
It's
his up.
fair.
Where are you standing, Solir?
Oh, back there with him.
Okay.
All right. So
So my days of standing next to the blowing up door. No, once
Understandable.
was enough with that.
yeah,
I have to
fair.
tell you that story.
Yes.
I got a lot of stories to tell.
So I guess 3 attacks. One.
Yes,
Do that.
you can
All
do
right.
them simultaneously at these circles, trying to hit them all at once.
Oh well, one's a natural 1. So
That is
that's out.
unfortunate.
The other one is there's a 28 and an 18 in there.
Okay. 2 of your arrows hit home. One of them, unfortunately, you're feeling a bit woozy from the effects of the poison, and it goes wide. Nothing happens on the door.
You missed.
I did with one of them.
Oh, well. I'll try shooting the rubies.
This
All
lumber
right.
is heavy now.
Where did you put the rubies? Were they just at the base of the door?
Well, we were trying to put them in the circles,
Okay.
if that was a thing.
The circles are just line circles.
Okay.
You can't really put them in unless you had some kind of adhesive.
Okay, well then I would just pile them up at the bases.
Okay.
That's why you missed. You were shooting circles.
Sorry, I didn't realize what you were
Oh,
doing with
that's
the rubies.
okay. Let's see where the hell's the gun. 20.
You hit the rubies and they explode. There is a storm of stone dust.
Supposed to hit the roof. I'm sorry I didn't make that clear.
There is. Pardon me.
All good.
He's dead.
There.
Failed the con save.
So there's a magnificent cloud of stone dust, and you hear a fast-paced patoo sound as it seems that all of the statues are activating at once. And when the stone dust clears, there are in fact a lot of needles just all over the ground, and there is a massive crater at the base of the stone slab, which is itself intact. You see enough of the wall has been blown away around the stone slab that you can see there seems to be an extension of a wall behind it, made of the same material as the slab itself.
Ah, shit.
What?
Go past the slab and open it from the inside.
How do you know there'll be a way to open it from the inside?
I don't. But if you don't see any way to open it from the inside, then
Yeah.
come back
Is
out
it big
to the
enough to
outside.
send an orphan through?
No,
Oh,
unless the orphan's the size of like an earthworm.
well, it could be.
It isn't.
No.
Not
Or,
gonna roll
you
for
know.
how many Earthborn orphans they have.
Or 9 can
How
just
many
walk
earthworms
through it
fit
like
in an
every other door.
No, I mean, I could turn an orphan into an earthworm. That's.
No offense, but I don't think your orphans are very smart.
I never looked
You
at
don't
this
have to be smart to be
Mordenkainen book.
Or to be an
They
earthworm.
buff so many races.
Oh, God, yes.
slightly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous what they did. to some
Kanku
of
can
them.
speak now.
Yep.
That's a load of bull right
That
there.
was like their only feature.
Yeah.
Oh no! Now they, forge every damn thing under the sun.
They're dwarf birds.
Yeah,
You can
it's-
just choose to get advantage on random skills. every
Bird
day.
dwarfs.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
Yeah,
random
it's-
things.
A bunch of the ones that got claw attacks do a D6.
the hell was the one that really got
D4.
buffed? Was it a hobgoblin or bugbear or something?
Bugbears were
really good.
already insane.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think goblinoids in general got a pretty
Yeah.
good buff, yeah. Because they're now considered Fey, I think. So they all
Oh,
got Fey
interesting.
ancestry and stuff.
They buffed that one Asimar that can light itself on fire to not take damage
Scourge Asimar.
Yeah.
from it.
That's what
I mean,
Jameson was.
it's a ridiculous. They character races were a little.
When I turn into an
ridiculous to
animal, do
start
I
with,
keep
but
the eye worm? I don't remember if we established
You
that.
do.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Hi, kitty.
it would have been long gone by now.
Why?
Because it would have escaped.
Is the cat alive or dead?
It's
You make the call.
Kitty is
You
having
really
a
want me
bit
to go
of
do
a
that?
happiness is mandatory.
Well, I don't see any other way of opening the door. I
I
tried to
could turn
blow it
you
up.
into a cloud.
Have
send
we
you
tried
through there.
simply placing
It
our
takes
hands
too
on
long
the
for me to
circles?
come out from being a cloud.
you just need 3
You have a
hands. is
reputation
all.
of dying as a cloud.
I put 2 of my hands on the circles and I just look at the rest of the
Oh,
party.
we're gonna push it open. Okay,
Yes, yes.
there we go.
You guys do that.
Nothing happens.
Ah,
I told you we were too weak
I'm
for
too
this.
weak. Yeah.
Holy Christ.
What if I help? I'm really strong.
All of you may push on the slab if you wish. It will not move.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Inside and open it.
Oh my god, but if I
I'd
die,
say-
it's your fault.
You should hit it with
What's
your
gonna kill
gunslinging
you?
sword.
There's nothing down
You
here.
don't know what's down there. You haven't been fine.
The needles on the ground look up at you menacingly.
I just blew up half the joint and nothing came up to the door to see what the hell happened. I'm pretty
turn
sure
into a
it's
squirrel
okay.
and go to the other side of the thing.
I have seen Nine and his horse knock
Look.
down many doors. Certainly this one will not be.
for
Lost.
Ashe turns into a squirrel.
He's
open it.
destroyed
Does it
more
look like there's a
peasants'
way to open it?
homes.
No. You squeeze through the hole next to the slab, and there's like a recessed slab behind it. There's essentially a wall, and the slab is in the middle of this, and they're all made of the same material. And then it's like the wall of this chamber around it was just placed at like cladding over this. Like there was a big something that was just kind of slotted into this room that you're standing in right now. And you blew away some of the room you're standing in, but there's something behind it that was not damaged.
So it's not a space over there.
There's a bit of space because wall was blown up, but you cannot get into anything
I just come
behind
back
it.
and shake my squirrel head.
So-
It's like
But there's a room behind this.
so. You got a thing right here, and you got a thing that slots into it like that. You blew up. You're in here. You blew up some of this. This is behind it. You did not hurt this at all.
Okay.
Okay.
We can't see beyond that.
You cannot see beyond. This is an audio-friendly
Yes.
campaign.
Do
It's okay, it doesn't make much more sense if you can see it, so.
I've got pretty decent knowledge of religion and history. Do
Yes.
I recognize anything about the statues?
Can you please roll me history?
Alright. I can add one of my superiority dice to history checks. I'm going to do that. So that is a 22.
All right, you recognize these as being the locust creatures that originated from the dreaming, according to the best lore that is known by people. These devilish, spiny, long-limbed creatures, different to the kinds of gargoyles that have been fashioned after...
Creature.
What's that?
You described every creature.
Well, see, there's gargoyles. There's gargoyles that are like made by people in different parts of the continent that are they pretty much are made after dwarves. Like they've got long beards, they got these little stubby limbs. They've got like gnomish caps. I guess that's more gnomish than dwarvish, but you know, it's kind of a conglomeration between the two. It tends to be those other gargoyles. So these gargoyles are definitely spiny, devilish, locusty creatures.
I recognize these as some of the ancient enemies of the Augustus line.
Is there any way to use my dwarven knowledge of stone to add to this knowledge?
It just helps you know where the stone
Actually,
came from.
you can make me a history roll, please.
You're considered proficient.
At advantage.
Add double your proficiency bonus to the check.
And also advantage.
I have an idea. We'll get back to it too.
So,
Augustus with his +2 intelligence.
I got 6.
Okay.
And add double proficiency bonus
Uh-huh.
to the check, so
16.
that's
16.
really 16. Okay. I thought it was 4 of it.
I think we're at
And that was an
That's
advantage.
what
We
I
got
thought.
+5 this level.
Yeah, that was an advantage.
Oh, that was an advantage.
This stone is like no stone that should exist in this world. There is no granularity to it. It might as well be metal in its density.
Is it metal?
It is not metal.
Okay.
It is stone, but it is not natural, normal stone.
I guess I can unscroll to tell them that.
We found this place thanks in part to the return of, well, a small portion of the dream, yes. Do you still have your key?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we're so close to our target, why not try it?
Why not? Stick the key into the slab.
It doesn't work.
Darn.
Do we have 3
Stick
keys?
the mansion key into the slab.
You can open the mansion door from here.
Okay.
Do we have 3 keys? One for each circle?
I have long since lost track who has what key.
I have a key.
I know I have a key. He doesn't have a key. And he doesn't have a key. So
Perhaps-
currently we have 2 keys, I think.
Okay.
Perhaps we should return above and see if there's anything to do with that bell or the other room we did not explore.
Okay.
Okay. Back up, orphans.
Orphans, says one of the orphans.
Nine, wake up.
Weird enough, he said that in life.
Yeah,
It's a creepy orphan.
it was kind of his destiny to become a zombie.
We're going upstairs, 9.
Okay.
There's a door.
There
You
was
go.
a door here, but I guess we gave up.
Well, would you like to try and
Well,
open
do
it?
you have a way to open the door, 9?
You tend to just break them down, so maybe you could
Just
break
walk
this
through
one.
it.
Yeah.
Nah. There's other doors. I already shoved Horse through something once today.
Okay.
Thankfully, Horse had no trouble getting down these stairs. These were much wider.
All right. Well, let's go back up to the door.
You go back up to the floor above. The orphans
See what
there
witches lie behind it.
are very concerned about the explosion that rocked everything around them.
Don't worry about it.
We cause a partial
See,
avalanche.
we all came back
Thankfully, no.
fine. Ignore the pock marks on his face.
That was acupuncture.
That's swelling quite a lot. Maybe you should put some ice on it.
It's the
It's
Hold your face against
It's
the wall.
how his people are.
I don't think it is.
Who's people? What?
the Augustus line.
Okay.
Anyway,
Back to sleep now.
we've been busy not touching anything.
That's good.
Just wanted to let you know nothing's happened.
Is one of them stuck to the wall?
No.
None of them licked it.
No. If they did, they were real good at covering their tracks.
Do you think if you told them to lick the wall, they'd do it?
I give them specific instructions to not lick the
I don't know
wall.
why
They don't lick the wall.
Okay.
We would never lick the wall.
They
Why
could
would
lick
we
the
do
bell.
something like that? Why would you think we do something like that?
Okay.
Deliberately steps in front of one of the other orphans.
I'm just gonna start putting the pieces of the bell together if I can. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a bad idea, but yeah,
You-
do it.
The pieces of the bell seem to be scattered all over the chamber. There's
Is the
probably
clapper
over
present?
100 of them.
It's a 100-piece puzzle.
Okay.
Is the clapper present?
Yes.
Oh.
Now, as you are fiddling with the pieces of the bell, you notice there seems to be a tiny little brass bell that seems to be rising out of the surface of the altar. Not as in motion, but it's like it's embedded, I suppose. There's a strand of brass kind of trailing up from the top of it to the clapper of the other bell. It's weird.
I think it reproduced.
How did you do that, Augustus?
I didn't, did I? I found it here.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a lot less
This
impressive.
little bell is slightly magical to your eyes.
How much bell do you have to ring a bell? Like if you take the clapper and just bang it against a piece of the bell. Are you sure?
I mean, it'll make a metal noise, but it's not going to ring like a bell.
Well, I didn't say it would sound like a bell, but if it has an effect of ringing the bell,
We could have one of the orphans ring the bell.
What was with this other door I heard about?
There is a door to the north. It's heavy and wooden.
Go to the
gonna open it.
north.
You go over to the door and you open it.
just like in a normal way.
Yeah.
It opens normally.
Man.
Beyond it, through the doorway, you see many bookshelves.
Oh, fuck.
Are
You see a,
frozen?
I mean, it's cold.
Yep.
I think hopefully the books were dry rather than frozen.
Gold paper gets rigid to the point of probably being frozen-ish.
If it did, it would be so cold we wouldn't be able to.
So I'm going to go
Down
back
here.
downstairs so that I keep an eye on the statues while you guys touch things up here.
That's very logical.
That doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
They already fired all the little needle things.
Salir goes downstairs. Good job, Salir.
Coward.
So Nine and Horse are at the door. Is Augustus going to continue trying to put the bell back together?
I think now that I found the smaller bell,
Okay.
I'll just pick that up.
It is embedded
it's
in
embedded,
the
right.
marble, yes.
Yeah, I guess I'll just follow into the library then.
Okay. Shit, what are you doing?
I'm gonna wait here and see if they die.
Okay. So the two of
That's
you
wise.
go into the library.
Nobody's died in this room by anything other than falling. We're fine.
Can you both give me perception rolls, please?
Natural 20.
So Nine notices the three Neverborn Scions hanging from the ceiling, looking down intently at the both of you.
How's it going?
As you address the one of them, he detaches from the ceiling
Who are you
and,
speaking to?
and attacks. So, initiative from the two of you, please.
16.
Alright, 1 moment.
20.
some good rolling you're doing over there, Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Nine, it is your turn.
I'm gonna baseball bat the motherfucker.
Alright. These three Neverborn Scions, they are very similar to the things that Goras once summoned. They are creatures of leather and oiled metal and glass, with trailing tatters of leathery cloak around them. Each of the three of them has a dull light shining behind its glass eyes. One of them is blue, one of them is red, one of them is green. The blue one is attacking you first. So you can... Are you going to baseball bat that one, or are you going to aim at one of the other
Well,
two?
whichever one just decided it was a good idea to lunge at me.
That would be the blue.
Who are you speaking to? Oh,
Grunt, grunt, it says. It is not grunt, it says grunt, grunt.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
$15 plus 3 radiant.
Alright.
I think that's all I get.
Your sword slashes through its leathery body, and you can see many oily tendrils of metal retreating from the wound inside.
Yeah, good thing I could do that again.
How many was that?
What?
How many damages was that?
15?
Thank you.
I only got a 14 to hit.
That'll hit.
These guys suck. Another 15 plus 8 radiant.
Alright. You chop it up again.
Right, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to shield bash it away from me.
Alright.
Which I don't remember what that is. But I got a natural 1.
Well, that won't hit. You try to shield bash it, but it's already retreating, sort of in a drift away from you.
I think it might be athletics contested.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there's a
gotcha.
chance if they roll really low.
That gives me a 10.
Yeah, definitely above that. You do not hit. You do not bash. Do you do anything else?
I'm going to back out of the room on Horus and just like wave it off. She'd like, bullshit.
Ashe, can you please make me a initiative roll?
Yes.
The door isn't opening, guys.
Clang, clang.
21.
What
Nice.
you doing?
You hear the stiff sound of 9 smacking things in the distance. Muffled.
Do you do anything else, Nine?
It's not yelling or
Yeah.
cursing yet. It's
Okay, you backed away. It's going to make an attack of opportunity. Give me a break. I have a little dice tray right here. That
You,
miss.
no, you missed. You missed the tray. You missed.
Does a 19 hit?
No.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. You back out of the way. It is. Oh my gosh. Dust's turn, I think, unless Nine is doing something else.
I don't think I need to take opportunity hits if I'm on Horus, because Horus can disengage as part of my movement.
Yeah. Horse disengages.
Yeah.
It is.
Disengage him too, doesn't it?
It does. Does it not? Hold on.
Doesn't seem like it
I
should.
can never remember how.
It seems
mounted-
like it should, otherwise every time someone comes by with a lance, you get to stab them.
There are like
Isn't that how?
3 different sets of mounted rules.
Right.
Because of
think-
5e.
I think if it's like a dumb animal, it does one thing,
Yeah.
but if it's smart like horses, it does another thing, and then yeah.
Which
All right. Well, it was attacking you regardless. It didn't hit you though. Okay. It is Augustine's turn.
Well, 1 arrow into the one that was attacking 9.
Okay.
It's gonna be a sharpshooter
Pew.
attack. 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
4. That's 25 points of damage. Yes.
Nice.
If it's still alive,
It is still alive.
I attack again. 18 to hit.
That will hit.
for max damage, 27 points of damage.
Excellent. That will kill it.
All right. The next closest one, third attack, that is a 20 to hit.
That will hit.
That is a 25 damage.
All right.
And yeah, screw it. I'll action surge. I'll do it again.
Woo!
I'll fucking do it again. 27 to hit.
That will hit.
For 26 damage on the one I just hit. Is it still alive?
It is still alive.
One more hit on it. That's a 20.
That'll hit.
That is 20 total damage.
All right. Still up.
Still up. All right, I'll attack that one again. That is natural 19, so close. 28 to hit
That will hit.
for 25 points of damage.
Nice.
26
It
points
dies.
of damage. All right. And then I'll second wind
All right.
for 20 points of healing on myself and pass turn.
The adrenaline seems to be opening your airways up after all that poison.
It's like, let me just knock 6 arrows real quick. And
You blast a hailstorm of arrows and just skewer these creatures. Their leather falls away, their whaley bits spring everywhere, and 2 glowing bells fall to the ground. One of them green, one of them blue.
Oh my god.
was that like 150 points of damage? Before you-
It was something around there.
They're all a minimum of 20 damage. Some of them have more.
According to Crawford, because the mount's movement is what moves me away from them,
That's
I'm
so
not
stupid.
moving.
That's so
Well,
stupid.
the horse could take an attack of opportunity.
Seriously.
then, right?
Correct, and when the horse takes an attack of opportunity, they can choose to attack the rider instead.
Right.
But if the horse disengages,
Okay.
I'm not triggering an attack of opportunity anyway,
Yeah, that's
and
close.
he's not. So technically,
That's funny.
What a failure of logic. that
You know, back in 4E, you were supposed to be shoving everybody everywhere, so everybody could be getting lots of fun opportunity attacks of various flavors. But
is. I realize Crawford's not the brightest bulb in the back, but that was some terrible logic.
it's
Yeah. Oh well.
it's what it is. We're not going to do that. So the last one is the green one, and it is going to try to kill Augustin, seeing how you just laid waste to 2 of its allies. Oh my!
How'd that work?
Does a 17 hit?
Barely.
All right.
That is my armor class. Studded leather.
It's going to deal 9 piercing damage.
Okay, I'm actually gonna parry,
Okay.
which I roll one of my superiority dice, and then I believe I reduce that damage. Yeah.
Okay.
So by 8 points. So I
Okay.
take 1 point of damage.
And you're also going to take 8 psychic damage.
Okay.
And you need to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
All right. That's an 18 total flat.
All right, you succeed.
All right. Sure, expend a die there. Okay, good.
It is then. It shone this brilliant green light out of its eyes and flashed you with this, and that's what allowed it to sink its psychic tendrils into your brain and psychically try to rip your flesh open. It's now just going to point a tentacle at you and try to blast you with a bit of magic. 9 will not hit.
Nope.
It is Oshit's turn.
Oh, hi, Ashit.
Hi,
You're still here?
I am.
Speaker of Rissa, we require your aid.
starts throwing orphans.
You've got this. You're fine. I'm gonna mass cure wounds 6 of the hurt orphans
Okay.
and tell them all to go down the stairs after coward face.
Don't trip on needles.
Okay.
Wow.
They all go down.
That's it.
Okay.
He's got this.
9, your turn.
Watch the needles on the floor. Don't step on
You
them.
just saw a lot of arrows
Hopefully we
happen.
equip them with shoes at least.
Well, yeah, he already got frostbite, so it won't matter.
These fucking orphans, I swear to God. Fine, I'll just go back in there
Oh,
and
not
beat
the 3
everyone's
zombie
ass.
ones though. They're still
Okay. So you go back in.
What's alive? All three of them, or just the one?
Just the one with the green eyes.
I'm also green.
Boom.
He says.
He's not grunt grunt.
No. This one says boom boom.
He recognizes you as brother.
It points a tendril at you and starts charging its attack.
Yeah, it's getting better. 21 to hit.
You bonk it.
16 plus 6 radiant damage.
Alright. It doesn't seem to like that very much.
More to hit.
It is.
16 plus 2 radiant.
It's still up.
I mean,
You hit a goddess for like 105 million hit points, and you can't kill this thing.
I'm not attempting, really.
Oh, okay.
Are you doing
I'm
anything
basically
else?
just going. I mean,
Ring the bell.
I can shove it again.
No
Okay.
bad stuff.
I'm sorry. Literally.
Why do you keep
every-
going that direction?
I got a 26 on athletics.
Okay, you succeeded on that.
I knock it over.
Thump.
Now it is more difficult for me to shoot.
Does it take any damage from that?
Actually.
No.
Okay. It is Augustine's turn.
Alright. So I actually do have crossbow expert. So that
Yes.
means I'm going to walk.
Sorry, Augustus's turn. I've been mispronouncing.
Okay. If it's prone on the ground,
Augusti.
Yes.
I'm going to walk up next to it with
Yes.
3 arrows knocked. Just straight down
Excellent.
the
Just
ground.
execute it.
Yeah. So first attack, 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Bunch of damage, 23.
Flat. It's still up.
13 to hit. I'm assuming that's a miss.
That will hit.
That will hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 22 damage again.
All right.
18 to hit. 22 damage.
It dies.
See, I'll go all 3 arrows just sink into it.
Boom, boom, boom. It falls to pieces, and its glowing green bell clatters to the ground. How late are people able to stay tonight?
I'm down to stay for as long as we need.
Unfortunately.
Really can't, unfortunately.
Okay.
I can't
We have a
tell
person
you.
watching a baby and we need to retrieve said baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're not wandering healing. I'm just staring at a door. If you all want to keep killing things.
Well, there's enough left that I think we'll have to go to next week.
Yeah,
One
that
more.
won't be around
Sorry.
much anymore.
Scarecrow will survive 2 sessions.
So thank you
Hang
all
on,
for
yeah.
playing tonight.
The surviving part we don't guarantee.
That's true.